So good day to each and everyone, especially to you, sir. Now I'm going to present the Rule 132, Section 1 up to Section 40 with blindfold. Rule 132, Presentation of Evidence. Section 1, Examination in an open court. The examination of the witnesses presented in a trial or hearing should be done in an open court and under oath or affirmation, unless the witness is incapacitated to speak or the questions calls in a different modes of answer. The answer of the witness shall be given orally. Section 2. Proceedings to be recorded. The entire proceedings of a trial or hearing, including the questions propounded to a witness and his answers thereto, the statements made by the judge or any of the parties, counsel or witness, with the reference to the case, shall be recorded by means of shorthand or stenotype or by other means of recording found suitable by the court. Section 3. The rights and obligation of the witness. A witness must answer questions, although his answers may tend to establish a claim against him. Section 4. Order in the examination of an individual witness. The order in which the individual witness may be examined is as follows. First is the direct examination by the proponent. B. Cross-examination by the opponent. Redirect examination by the proponent. And the recross examination by the opponent. Section 5. Direct examination. Direct examination is the examination in chief of witness by the party presenting him on the facts relevant to the issue. Section 6. Cross-examination, the purpose and extent. Upon the termination of the direct examination, the witness may be cross-examined by adverse party as to many matters stated in the direct examination and of connected therewith with sufficient fullness and freedom to the best accuracy and truthfulness and freedom from interest or bias or the reverse, and to elicit all important facts hearing upon the issue. So redirect examination, Section 7, and it is purpose and extent. After the cross-examination of the witness has been concluded, he may be re-examined by the party calling him to explain or supplement his answers given during the cross-examination. Section 8. Recross examination. Upon the conclusion of the redirect examination, the adverse party may recross examine the witness on matters stated in his redirect examination, and also on such other men as may be viewed by the court in its discretion. Section 9. Recalling witness. After the examination of the witness by both sides has been concluded, the witness cannot be recalled without leave of the court. The court will grant or withhold leave in its discretion as the interests of justice may be required. So Section 10. Leading and misleading questions. A question which suggests to the witness the answer which the examined party desires is leading questions. It is not allowed except one cross-examination. B. On preliminary matters. C. When there is a difficulty is getting direct and intelligible answers from witness who is ignorant or a child of tender years, or is of feeble find, of a deaf mute. D. Of an unwilling or hostile witness. And E. Of a witness who is adverse party or an officer, director, or managing agent of a public or private corporation or a partnership or association which is adverse party. Section 11. Impeachments of adverse party's witness. A witness may be impeached by party against whom he was called by contradictory evidence, by evidence that his general reputation for truth, honesty, or integrity is bad, or by evidence that he has made at other times statement inconsistent with his present testimony, but not by evidence or particular wrongful acts, except that it may be shown by the examination of witness or recorded of the judgment that he has been convicted of an offense. Section 12. Party may not impeach his own witness except with respect to witnesses referred to in paragraphs of Section 10. The party producing a witness is not allowed to impeach his credibility. Section 13. How witness impeached by evidence of inconsistent statements. Before a witness can impeach by evidence that he has made at other times statements inconsistent with his present testimony, the statement must be released to him with the circumstances of the witness in place and the person present, and he must be asked whether he made such statement, and if so, allowed to explain them. Section 14. Evidence of good character of witness. Evidence of the good character of a witness is not admissible until such character has been impeached. Section 15. Inclusion and separation of witnesses. On any trial or hearing, the judge may exclude from the court any witness not at the time under examination, so that he may not hear the testimony of other witnesses. Section 16. When witness may be referred to memorandum. A witness may be allowed to refresh his memory respecting a fact by anything written or recorded by himself or under his direction at the time when the fact occurred, or immediately thereafter, or at any other time when the fact was fresh in his memory and knew that the same was correctly written or recorded. But in such case, the writing or recorded must be produced and may be inspected by adverse party, who is inspected by the adverse party, who may, if he chooses, cross-examine the witness upon it and may be read it in any evidence. Section 17. When part of transaction writing or record given in evidence, the remainder admissible. When part of an act, declaration, conversation, writing, or record is given in evidence by one party, the whole of the same subject may be required into by other, and when detached act, declaration, conversation, writing, or record is given evidence in other act, declaration, conversation, writing, or record necessary to understanding may also be given evidence. Section 18. Right to respect writing shown to witness. Whenever a writing is shown to a witness, it may be inspected by the adverse party. Section 19. Classes of documents. For the purpose of their presentation, evidence documents are either public or private. Public documents are written official acts or records of the official acts of the sovereign authority, official bodies and tribunals, and public officer within or the Philippines or foreign country. Documents acknowledged before a notary public except last wills and restatements. Public records kept in Philippines of private documents required by law to enter therein. Proof of private document, Section 20. Before any private document offered as authentic is received in evidence, its due execution and authenticity must be proved either A. by one who saw the document executed or written, B. by evidence or the genuineness of the signature or handwritten of the maker. Section 21. When evidence of authenticity of private document not necessary, where a private document is more than 30 years old, is produced from the custody in which it would naturally be found it genuine and is unblemished by any alteration or circumstances of suspicion, no other evidence of its authenticity need be given. Section 22. How genuineness of handwriting proved. The handwriting of a person may be proved by any witness and who believes it to be the handwriting of such person because he has seen the person write or has seen writing purporting to be his upon which the witness has acted or be charged and has acquired knowledge of handwritten of such person. 23. Public documents as evidence. Documents consisting of entries in public records made in the performance of duty by a public officers are prima facie evidence of the facts therein stated. Section 24 of Official Record. The record of public documents referred to the paragraph A of Section 19 when admissible for any purpose may be evidenced by an official publication thereof or by a copy attested by the officer having the legal custody of the record or by his deputy and accompanied if the record is not kept in the Philippines with a certificate that such officer has the custody. Section 25. What attestation of copy must state. Whenever a copy of a document or record is attested for the purpose of evidence, the attestation must state in substance that the copy is correct, a copy of the original or a specific part thereof as the case may be.